to those tunes. I love his writing. I don't remember his name right now. All right, let's jump right into something. Let's go to some rudiments. We always do. Excuse me. Sorry. We're always doing stuff that's involves paradiddles, but today, I was waiting for the screen thing to come up.
I didn't get it going yet. It'll be up. Just give me a little bit.
So we're gonna do stuff based around flams and different flam ideas, and I'll talk just a little bit quick about how I started developing my flams. Right away, drum lessons, started doing flams. Let me go over what it is. This is a flam. I've got both my sticks ready, and I'm going to raise up the right stick. For this, we're going kind of marching band. I'm pointing at the ceiling, straight up. See how relaxed my arm is? I'm not in any weird position. I'm in just an up position, and then I'm going to drop that stick down. This is going to be my flam side. So the left hand is going to be down and about an inch from the head, or it all depends, but it's lower. And how I was taught was you drop them both at the same time, or you get them to hit just separate from each other. You don't want a double stop, which is both hands hitting at the same time. You want them separated by a little bit of space. So in slow motion, it's like this. But we want it tighter. We want them really tight. We want it to sound like this. And we want to hear that space. So that's a right-handed flam. Now left-handed. And I'm just going back and forth. Those are flams. There are some tricks we'll get into on how to get these fast. I remember I auditioned back in high school for the Michigan State Lions, or the Lions, Michigan Lions All-State Band. And by the way, I made it as the third cymbal player. Woo! That's right. I didn't mind. Cripe, I was just happy to be in.
I knew you were my hero for some reason.
Yeah, I learned all the scrapes and got to do all the swilly cymbal stuff, and not to try to have an excuse, but part of the reason why I wasn't able to do snare drum was I was actually so much taller than everyone else that if you're into marching band stuff, you know how strict everything is. Stick heights have to be the same, and I have to be honest, I was not even close to the snare drummers at that time. They were way above and beyond me. I remember going to the audition and just being, I didn't want to audition. I was like, everybody's so much better. And I actually got it, a lot of it, and they even told me, they said, well, there was only 2 positions open. It was snare drum and cymbals. And there was no way I was getting snare drum. I mean, I didn't think of that. I mean, I didn't even know. I didn't know what positions were available, actually. And holy cow, I learned actually a lot of tricks in the warm-ups from some of the other snare drummers. But the fact that I was about a foot taller than everybody else made it very difficult to line all the snare drums up the same. I had to be with the snare drum really low, and everybody else had to have it up about a foot higher to get them all the same. And then it just wasn't right. We did traditional grip, and I wasn't really a traditional grip player at that time. Oh, man. But they told me the next day that I had made it, that I was going to be cymbals, and one of the biggest parts was personality. Because there was hundreds of students that were auditioning, and the reason I got it, they said almost 100%, because after a while, there's a lot of good players, and it's like, well, do we get this guy who's great? And it came down, I know, between kind of me and one other guy, and he just had kind of a cocky attitude, and I was cracking jokes and being funny, and just because I was nervous. That's how I tend to relate to other people when I'm in a pressure situation, is I try to be funny. Even if I'm not, I usually come across as a dork. So, one of the things in the audition, they said, we want you to play flams right to left, just back and forth, and we want you to play them as fast as you can right from the get-go. And that really threw me for a loop because I'd never done that. That's just doing this back and forth. And I couldn't do them that fast. I was probably like this. So after that, after I made that audition, I started, well, trying to practice that exercise. And what I found out, you can get this kind of molar stroke push-pull where I come down with the stick and let it rebound, and then on the way up, I get another hit. So it's down, up, down, up. And you can get that pretty fast. You can do that with any of the different grips. Right now I'm doing it French grip with my thumb up. Up, 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 up. Yeah, that's right, baby. And you can accent that first one. Well, you do it with the left hand too. And to get your flams faster, what you end up doing is you alternate back and forth, and you get this up and down motion in between them. So I'm like. They're kind of going just opposite each other. You can get fast flams. Here it is separated between two drums, so you can kind of hear the difference. And you get this it feels like I'm going back and forth, but I'm getting that upward hit. And this is a great way to develop your flams, and this will help when you start doing other flam exercises, which we will go into right now. We're going to concentrate probably, well, I'll show you. Two of them that are very important besides the regular flam is flam tap, which is right flam and then a right tap. So flam, tap, flam, tap. Flam, tap, flam, tap. You see it. How I'm internalizing this or feeling it, I'm thinking about the accents. And this is a big way how you can really develop a lot of this stuff or come up with flam exercises on your own instead of going out of a book, is I take the flam and then I'll do the flam tap and keeping this back and forth flam. Right flam, left, right, left. And I almost feel like I'm swinging it. At faster speeds I won't, but this is how I develop it with the students. I think of, I'm coming down, and that is pushing the left hand up. So you get this kind of back and forth. Then I put the taps in. Now just with that exercise, you can start doing different things, adding different groupings of numbers in. You go twos, that's a 2, to me it is. 1, 2, 1, 2, slam tap. Could do 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I just let the hand, so now it's triplets, flam triplet, and I leave the hand behind that's doing the flam, and that picks up the rest of the notes. Dot, dot, dot. You'll see how open my hands are. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can just, it's sort of like a stone killer exercise for John Mullo. Is that it? Yeah, John, no, sorry, John Mullo? No, John Mullo I studied with.
All right.
Different drummer.
Right.
Too much going on in my head.
Mute your mic.
Oh, we're going to play a song now, baby. And then we'll go into something else. Yeah, dude, there
That's
was some
pretty
cool
good.
things in there.
Pretty good.
That was not bad. I had a
That's good.
couple. Well, I always have a couple little whiffs, and you always are. Actually, this is. I have to burp. Come out. It's coming. I don't want to talk and be like, hi. Victor Wooten, bass player, talks about thinking of music as a language. It's like you're speaking. And for me, it's very true. That's kind of how I think of it. And I tend to, it's not normal words. It's like, fleckadogook, fleckadogook, fleckadogook. I'm hearing all these things in my head and then trying to assign them to body parts. And sometimes it's really ad-libbed in the sense of I'm thinking of subdivisions in my head, or I'm hearing bop, but I don't know how it's going to come out. Sometimes it comes out in patterns that I've practiced a lot. Other times it just happens, and there's really no rhyme or reason to what's coming out except for the subdivisions. The other is sometimes I abandon my idea halfway through. Like if I start to do a sextuplet fill and I'm noticing that I'm getting out of time a little bit, what I'll do is and I did it in one of these where I switched to like a slower triplet, and it ends up people, oh, that's really cool. So I'll think like that subdivision, and again. But sometimes I'll go in that triplet at the end, I'll move that around, and a lot of times that comes out by accident, just because I've gone for a fill and it's not coming out as smooth as I want, like one of these. There's where I split it up. And it actually adds to it. It's pretty cool. Other times I'll go over the bar line. Sometimes it's on purpose. Other times it's me just whiffing, messing up, not getting to the cymbal when I really need to. So I just go past the bar line and come in on the 2 or wherever I end up coming out. And it saves me a lot of times. And it ends up being another cool type of fill. Most of the stuff that I'm doing comes from a place of accidents. What? Oh. Let's try a flam paradiddle. Hey! All right, drink up if you got your libations. So here, I'll show you flam paradiddle. Paradiddle, right, left, left, left. Paradiddle, paradiddle, paradid. All we do is a flam on the beginning. So flam-a-diddle, 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 flam-a-diddle. It's a nice way to keep steady snare drums while you're moving around, like flam-a-diddle, flam-a-diddle. I am not super fast at those. I am not the fastest, and that's okay. It's not about being fast. I don't know what it's about, but it's about things like that. All right, I want to go back to this other flam thing. So we were doing flam taps and adding numbers to them and keeping it on the same side. Like flam tap, then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, where we're keeping all the note values the same. And really the accent or the flam is just moving. Now you could take that same type of idea and try to squeeze in to the time, keeping the flams in the same place and trying to squeeze in different numbers in that timing. So if I'm playing like, and I go flam, flam, then flam, tap, flam, tap, flam, tap, flam, tap, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. There's 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, when I went to 5, I started, I changed. It changed. But go up to 4. Just because that's all I can do right now. But you hear that? so I'll do. Woo! This mic's hot. It's distorting a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's distorting the toms. I'm going to do that again. So we got samba. Or really, we could just go flam, 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 flam. Ah, flam, tap, flam, tap, flam, tap, flam. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Sixes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, I went to, so I did ones or just regular flams, then flam tap, which is what I'm calling twos. Then I did 3 on each side, 4s, which would be your 16th note. Then I jumped up to 6 tuplets because 5s are tough. And then jumped up, attempted to do 8s at that speed. And it's really good for your hands. And it's, if you notice, when I'm doing the, what I guess I'm going to call it incidental hits, I'm not doing a lot of arm. Right there, I did something a little different. I'm switching. Now I'm combining different things. I'm taking that same type of idea, flam taps, and extending them to 3s and 4s and whatever I get up to. And then I start combining them together. And I was doing 5s there. I'm going, let's see. Oh, okay, I have to show you another a pattern. It is the flam accent, which is a group of 3. So a flam tap is a 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then flam accents are a triplet where I'm going right flam, right, left, right. That's our 3. Right, left, right. 1, 2, 3, and then it switches to left. Left, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then you can take that, move that around. You can combine flam taps and flam accents to get different groupings. Because then you have 2s and 3s, so you can make 5s, 7s, all depending on how you do it. And what I want to stress is you want to get these to the point where really I'm thinking about the accent pattern. I'm hearing those big notes. That's what I'm thinking about, but you have to practice these enough so you can know where you are within any pattern. So as you're thinking of it, thinking of what you're hearing in your head, getting it out with your body and getting it to the point where it's smooth. So I have flam. Let me think. I just have to play it first. Okay, so I'm going flam accent. Flam. Dude, I am not doing a flam tap. That would be the 5. Flam tap. Dude, I can't even, my brain, this is why I've practiced this stuff so much without thinking about what I'm doing. It ends up just coming out. So let me come up with this. I'll do the 5s. I'm just doing 2 accents. Flam tap, but it's not a flam tap because I didn't do the right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Sevens. So I'm doing odd groupings. Every time I switch a tom, it's the restarting of the pattern. 1, 2, 3, like 1, 2, 3, 1. There's your regular flam accent. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ah, 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 ah. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I can't count the 9 and play it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm just going up. I'm doing 3, 5, 7, and 9s. That's the pattern. Here. I'm just really ad-libbing. I'm thinking of the toms. That's how I'm keeping track. This is another way I keep track of odd times or just how it cycles, is I have a little formula where this is it. And this is without flams. For a 5, it's right, left, left. So it's... So I think 2. 1, 2, da, da. 1, 2, da, da, 2, da, da. Or da, din, da, din. So I know it when I do 2. If I'm doing singles, it'll change. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. When I do 2 and then da da would be 2 snare hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then keep it on the same hand. Right, left, left. For 7s, it's 3s. 1, 2, 3, da da. 1, 2, 3, da da. You can move it anywhere. 4s would be 9. 1. 5s would be 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could take patterns like that. Again, I always go to the samba. Ba 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 ba. 7. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You keep going up. You go up like to 13. I remember I had a challenge. I have to. What is that? So you do 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that'd be a 13. And then I had a student ask me to try to play 5 against 13, and I don't know if I could play it. Let's see. So my feet are in 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I have to count the 6. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. Woo! I got through it twice there. That's tough. 5 against 7 is something that I practice a lot. And it's just exercises at this point. That's what it is. It'll help you find different grooves, like 7, bump, bump, da 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 da. Like I just have that memorized. That's in 7. I think it's 7/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it stays in the pulse because really, I think of it more like 14, so it ends up as an even number by the end instead of So that's me keeping the quarter note. That's 7. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is a great way, by the way. I'm jumping all over because it is attention deficit. I've gotten into odd time patterns. The way I'm doing that 7, and I played with a band called Shawsbot where we did really odd time progressive stuff, but I always kept one limb in straight time so that the audience could feel the 4, and it just sounded like syncopated beats, like
All right.
We ready for a song?
Mute your mic.
I'm gonna mute my mic.
You should do that. You should totally do that. Like right now. Now? now.
It
There
says,
it is.
something I want to show.
Is it
Probably show
is it
this.
a-
What?
what
Huh?
Is it a? We can show. Is it a?
I don't know, man. Paradiddles. No. No, doubles between the hand and the foot. This is a cool one. It's an impressive one. I find myself and other people it's very difficult. It's a lot about technique, and I'm not going to go into all the technique. I'm just going to show it. It's doing doubles between the left hand and the right foot. That's it. Really, you want to do it between either hand, but in the song I was going. Just me showing off, buddy. It's just taking the doubles. Now you can do them a couple different ways. You could do them starting with the foot, starting with the hand, starting with a single. Like, just changes where the double is. Like, I like to do that. Where I accent the second. When you get going really fast, it just kind of all smooges together. Smooges.
It's a new word.
That's a new word.
You should use that at least 5 times every half hour.
Smooges.
Smooges.
So I'm accenting the second hit, at least at the slower speeds, which is a brilliant way to practice your doubles. It's what?
It hurt. It felt good.
Oh, right.
Well done.
Thank you. So that I like that too. Start with a single right, and then have your doubles kick off from there. Woo! And then there's a million other things. You have to develop either the slide technique or heel toe. That's my version of heel toe, which I am not the most comfortable with. I'm more of this guy right here, the slide. Like, that's a great lick. Right, left, foot, left, right, foot, left. That's the same thing.
That's ridiculous.
I like it. How are we doing on time?
Oh, we got time.
We got time.
You want to do another song?
Yeah, let's do another song.
We got time.
Yeah, I like that.
Mute it. Let's go.
I'm muting it.
Somebody's talking, but they have their own mic and headphones. They can jump in whenever they want to. What? No. Boo. You guys have no idea what I'm saying. Anyways, here we go.
rock and roll. So that was a version of taking a song
And butchering the shit out of it?
not
Well
knowing
done,
it too
sir.
well and going completely the opposite of the advice I gave last week about when you don't know something. Let me catch my breath for a second. Wow, I kind of overdid it. Going overboard is what I did on purpose. I wanted to try. And what was happening was I wasn't sure exactly where the bass drum part should be. Bop, 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 bop. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Which is tough, and finding out what kind of groove to put in. So I did what I said not to do and overplayed over it. Because what I was doing, which was probably wrong, is I was just basically soloing. So then I didn't have to worry about all the hits. All I had to worry about is the big tags, the big sections.
Big wang.
Yeah, big bang,
Big wang.
big perm, big worm, and knowing where to come out. Yeah, Friday, next Friday, whatever. I'm trying to think of what the parts even sounded like. It went by so fast in my head, I just kept getting lost. So I soloed and just went for the main hits. And even when I started losing my timing a little bit, as long as you really don't get lost in your own playing, when you start to get lost, you need to really focus on the rest of the band to make sure that you stay with them. Or in this case, I started losing the track on some of the bigger, faster fills, but I knew I just relaxed going, I'm rushing. Now take a breath
Russian?
and make sure I come out. That's right, everybody is Russian.
Brian's Russian. He's a Russian.
I'm the Russian dragon.
I'm the Russian
Everyone. So as long as I know to come out, like just on what a big, section changes. Bop, bop, ba-dop. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Bop, bop, ba-dop. So right there at the cymbal, that's the end of the big phrase. And I memorize what the whole phrase sounds like, even if I don't know rhythmically what I'm doing or what the part really is, or I haven't totally internalized it yet. But I love practicing soloing over tunes like this, or actually easier ones, where I'll do just my exercise. We'll work on some of this in the future, where we'll play a track, and instead of playing the groove to the track, you just practice soloing over the whole thing and trying to find out what can fit while you're soloing. Because if you're soloing to a song or with a song, you have to stay within the timing of the song and really the phrasing. And you want to put stuff in that will fit. Sometimes. I don't follow that rule that often because I want to throw in stuff that's impressive too, but it has to fit into a sense, maybe with the pulse and where the feel is. Like if I'm doing some crazy six-tup, like I may want to hit crashes where there might be big tags, not the big ones at the end of the phrase, but there might be things within the phrase that I want to try to catch, or that I will throw a smaller fill in, catch the phrase that I'm hearing in the bass guitar or the horns, and then pick up back into the fill. So it'd be a real quick little burst. I don't even know exactly how to explain that, but it's awesome. Really,
Awesome.
really, it's about listening. It's about listening to everybody else. We all, as any musician, but as a drummer, I would sit and put on records and play all the time. And I'd play to the songs. That's how I got a better grasp of music itself or music forms. But, when I was younger, it sounded like garbage. Or I would do just purely, I would use a song as a metronome because I hated playing the metronome. So I would put on Janet Jackson Control, which was just this beat with a drum machine. And then I would try to solo throughout the whole song, but making sure I was tagging or hitting every section so that I would fill or solo into the chorus and maybe play a more aggressive solo licks in that part. Like I might do something where it's the beat and I'm working on. And then the next section may come up, and I might double it into sextuplets. So like. I'm not keeping track of it. See, that's why it's good to have the music. Then I can really hear those phrasings. Yes!
Wrap it up. We got another show to do.
We're going to wrap it up, man. We're going to wrap it up and do some dog tracks. Are we playing a song on the way out?
Yes, we are going to play a song on the way out.
This is for everyone.
This is for Russian.
This is for Russian Dragon. Get it? I'm rushing on the drums or I'm dragging.
Karate.
Karate.
Funkadelic.